Hello, folks. I greet you. Welcome to another date on Journalist Hangout. Gentlemen of the Fourth Estate find Journalist Hangout, the award-winning show on TV, a veritable rendezvous. I am Citizen Jones Hussein, and now today on the program, Afam Osigwe sworn in as the 32nd NBA president. PDP launches campaign for 2024 Edo governorship election, just as APC national chairman assures of APC victory. FCCPC gives traders 1 month deadline to crash prices of goods, and later on we'll share this with you. Federal government approves 50% electricity subsidy for tertiary institutions, including teaching hospitals. I'm hanging out with Dotun Oladipo. Dotun, so good to see you.
Thank you so much.
How do you do?
I do well.
Okay. Dotun, we are joined by Yusuf Adekunle. Yusuf, welcome.
I'm glad to be here.
Okay, so the team is ready from here. I hope you are. All right, so let's go. You know, the Umbrella Professional Association of all practicing lawyers admitted to the bar in Nigeria held its annual conference in the work week that's ending today. You know, one major highlight of the busy week was the inauguration of Mazi Afam Osigwe, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, as the 32nd President of the Nigerian Bar Association. The 42-year-old Anambra State-born attorney succeeds Mr. Yakubu Meyaki, a senior advocate himself. Now, the NBA president has promised to hit the ground running, in addition to ensuring that the NBA would hold federal and state governments accountable and ensure that their policies deliver good governance to the people. Let's take this report from Kemi Fola Adejumo first. Let's go there.
Here present to you the 32nd President of the Nigerian Bar Association.
Afam Osigwe's swearing in comes with celebrations by his supporters across the bar body. But in his inaugural speech, he calls for moderation in actions and utterances so as not to further polarize the bar.
In order to collectively work towards achieving the enormous task ahead of us, we should therefore not celebrate in a manner that may further polarize the bar. The election is over. It is now time to work together to build a bar that represents what we all believe in. We therefore need all hands on deck.
The senior advocate takes over from Yakubu Chinoko Mekiau, also an SAN, at a time when the clamor for better administration of justice and respect for the rule of law rages across the country, which he promises to address.
Let us put our hands on the plow and not look back, because anyone who does that, understanding that the rebuilding of Nigeria is a collective responsibility.
We work towards ensuring that government policies and programs meet the yearnings and aspirations of our people as they relate to the provisions of good governance, transparency in financial expenditure, reducing drastically the cost of governance, and ensuring that the welfare of our people is given topmost priority.
The new NBA president also set up 2 committees, amongst others, to conduct quarterly reviews of appellate courts' judgments and push for justice sector reforms.
We hereby set up the Adjudicative Review Committee, ARC, of the NBA. The committee will periodically review the decisions from the appellate courts, especially the Supreme Court and Court of Appeal, and present well-researched commentaries on such cases that nudge the courts towards a more coherent and consistent adjudication that promotes the rule of law and democratic freedoms.
Mr. Osigwe adds that the NBA will also ensure strict compliance with the recent Supreme Court judgment, which proclaimed financial independence and autonomy for all the local governments in Nigeria, in line with the Constitution as amended. Kemi Oladiemo, TVC News, Lagos.
Thank you. Kemi. Dotun, so the NBA looks like a beacon of hope, if you ask me.
Well, we all believe the NBA should be.
Okay.
Because in Nigeria, we've had so many debates on the issue of the constitution we are running. Whether it is good for us or it is not good for us.
And by extension of logic, Dotun, have we not gone past the stage of debating whether our problem is constitutional or attitudinal?
That's where I'm going, sir.
Go there. Let's go.
Because what we've seen over the years, sir, has been the fact that some of us are alarmed when lawyers turn logic on its head when trying to interpret the law to us. Even in cases where we have had Supreme Court make pronouncements on those parts of the law. We've had some of them who were fined for taking back to the Supreme Court cases that have been adjudicated on.
I hope you are not provoking a debate here.
Well, that's what I want to do, because a lot of times when we have a change in leadership, we have a lot of promises, we have a lot of hopes, we have expectations.
Okay.
But we still keep coming back to this program to call on the NBA to check the excesses of those white members. It's happening in every profession. But we expect that at the level where we have lawyers operating, there should be sanity. There should be respect, because they are the holders of the law. They are not the interpreters. The judges will do the interpretation. But a lot of times what we find out is that the courts are so loaded with cases that are not even supposed to have gone to court. But lawyers will always encourage people to go to court. So that's the reason why the leadership of NBA, it's important that standards are quickly set. Warnings are issued and sanctions applied, because that's what will bring sanity. And the biggest area where we're having issues now has been on the political side, where you have some political cases that ought not to even have gone to court, dragging on for so long. And if this leadership can work on that.
Dotun, you are constraining me now to ask. Your lawyer tells you, Oga, we are going to win the case.
Yes, that I have a case. Whereas sometimes the lawyer himself already knows that going to court doesn't make sense.
But you will follow him to court.
I won't if I'm in that position. Because a lot of times, all that those who are goaded on need to do is to go on Google. What has the Supreme Court pronounced on this type of issue? They are there. They are there, instead of wasting the time of the court. And it's not just limited to lawyers now. Also, NBA needs to start speaking up on judges. They need to start speaking up.
But don't forget their attorneys.
They are, but they can't.
You need them. You need them.
Of course, we need them.
Yusuf, he's not speaking for you.
Of course. Yeah, I'll speak for myself. Your question, I know you want to ask me a question.
Well, mine is, the NBA has a new president in Barrister Afam Osigwe.
42 years old.
Are you quarreling with
No. I'm happy that the young man is taking, up such a very big responsibility, because the leadership of NBA is important to Nigeria, to our democracy, to the rule of law, to everything that matters to the average Nigerians. So I'm so much happy about it. I'm not quarreling with his age. The age is fine with me. But I'm going to go by his promises, because when you see some of his promises, you will just fall in love, even though he hasn't started, but you will naturally fall in love, because that is what we really need at this time. You know, Dr. Yaya was talking about public perception of, you know, Supreme Court judgments here and there, some of them. And this man said there will be quarterly review of judgment from appellate courts, you know, appeal court and Supreme Court. And some of this will be, you know, like an academic thing that will be properly researched, and there will be commentaries. And this will be done every quarter. That will be beautiful, because so. it will strengthen. How do you marry the situation whereby the Supreme Court pronounces on an issue this direction, the next time the same court swings or the same or similar issue? So it does happen. It does happen, and that's not healthy for our democracy. So when we have seasoned lawyers, you know, prepared lawyers, talking about them, not just ordinary folks who are not, according to them, learned. So that, to me, is a good one. Then you also promise to take, to hold governments accountable, federal and state accountable. Yeah, that would be a beautiful thing too. We want to see how that, you know, pans out, but I'm so much in love with that promise. Then there is the recent judgment of the Supreme Court on local government autonomy. August 11. This MBA leadership said it will do everything to make sure, you know, that happens in our country. That is to say, they will be policing and supervising and inspecting the local government. So it has a lot of beautiful programs. Beautiful programs, I'm saying it, that will make you to say, wow, there's still a lot, you know, to be happy about it.
Yeah, Dr. Mine, well, I agree with his sentiments, but look at this. We have had great NBA presidents. Recall Chief Williams, F.R.A. Williams, 68 to 1970. We have had Richard Akinjide, you remember, 1970 to 73. Alawa Kabashon and so on. But my trouble is, since Mrs. Priscilla Kuye became the NBA president in 1992, no woman has ever gotten that far. I'm wondering, as the Indian would say, are you thinking what I'm thinking?
Well, it's not about thinking what we are thinking. We love women.
Okay.
Well, you see, in everything, politics, I'm not of the opinion that women don't love women. I'm just of the opinion that a lot of women are laid back.
Okay.
They don't play the politics of it.
All right.
And that it is even a democracy. It happens through, you know, people casting their votes. So nobody is...
all right. So we wish Barrister Afam Osigwe well, and a resourceful tenure as president of the NBA. All right, let's try the next story.